I've been looking at their website, kind of looking at their social media a little bit. See that there could be like some tweaks every now and then, but that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Selling social media.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. One of the biggest things that I like to say with any of this stuff is we don't sell marketing, we don't sell social media, we don't sell ads, we don't sell branding, we don't sell graphics, we don't sell websites. We sell
Hmm.
solutions to their problems. So, I mean, a lot of people when they first get into the space, they want to sell social media package. What is a social media package going to accomplish for that client? That's what you got to ask. Is it really going to drive the needle? What does every business actually want? More sales. Okay. And the only way to get more sales is through more customers. And more customers comes through more leads. So if your social media service can help them drive more local awareness, drive more leads, drive more customers, that's what you're really selling. And that's what you have to focus on. The
Yeah,
mechanism is kind of irrelevant. People will buy whatever's going to help get them closer to the goal. And you want to be thinking about services that move your customers, prospects closer to the sale. So that's what I would say with social media. Are you thinking just selling like content, like posting and stuff like that, or actually doing some ads? Or what was kind of the thing that you wanted to focus on?
probably like how you were talking about a second ago, fixed solutions. So
Yeah.
I looked at like their website. I was gonna like reach out to them saying, "Hey, I can maybe tweak out your website a little bit for
Mm,
this and this."
I love that. So the way to approach that situation is basically you say, hey, what we want to do is we want to optimize your website for conversions with the same amount of traffic that you're already getting. You could actually convert 20% or more people into leads. And that's just what we've seen statistically with an old website like yours. It's not optimized for lead generation, meaning that you probably have a high bounce rate. And a bounce rate is how many people are going to just jump off the landing page without even clicking and inquiring with you. And so if you lower your bounce rate, increase conversions, you're going to get more deals just from that, and you don't have to spend any extra money. So that's a really great solution to offer somebody that has like an old website, and you can package these things up. So what I teach in a lot of my stuff is the discovery call process. Okay, and this is actually one of my favorite parts of the process. It's where you really unpack the business owner's goals, where they're currently at, where they want to go, and you really assess their position, and that unpacks everything, and they'll start to open up to you, and you'll end up finding out a lot of times that these business owners have bigger budgets than you expected. They want more services than you originally were going to offer, and if you just get through this process, they'll be more open to a full package website, SEO. Then once you got a website, you got to drive traffic to it, ads, and you can package all that up into one singular package and just offer that to them at a blanket price. Hey, it's going to be 5K a month, and we're going to cover all this. We're going to get your website right. We're going to get your SEO going. We're going to get the ads going. And ultimately, we're going to help get you a pathway to doing X goal, whatever they told you. Right. So that's how I would approach it. Have you are you pretty comfortable with leading a discovery call, or do you need some pointers on that?
Um, I'd probably like some pointers because I haven't done one yet. But
Cool.
yeah. What's some good pointers? What?
This is good for everybody. This is really good for everybody. So, um, basically, you jump on the call, and the first thing you have to do is set the frame. Okay, so the frame needs to come from a place of authority. If you jump on right away and you just, hey, how's your day going? What's up with the business? You're gonna get into all these different weeds and pathways. So, the first thing that I always say is, they jump on, and I'm like, I ask a little icebreaker question. Hey, how's it going today? You guys busy? How's the weather? Hope you had a good new year. Something human. And then I go straight in. And I say, well, hey, thank you so much for jumping on this call with me today. Really appreciate your time. Usually the way these calls work is I just like to find out a little bit more about you, your goals, maybe some potential roadblocks you're experiencing. And, if we don't work with everybody, but if I think that there's a fit for us to actually work together, then I'd be happy on this call to actually show you what the pathway to that looks like. And alternatively, if I don't think there's a good fit for us to work together or my program's not right for you, then I'll be happy to point you in the right direction. And if we get to the end and you absolutely hate it and you don't think that it's going to be right for you, you can just give me a definitive no. Is that fair? I'll say, yeah, that's fair. And then I'll say, and alternatively, if we get to the end of the call and you think that this is going to work for you, I'm going to present you with the opportunity to give me a definitive yes and for us to work together. Does that sound good? So yeah, totally. And so now I'm going over with you guys, not as much a discovery call as a one call close. And it's 2 in 1. It's the discovery and the sales call put together. You can do this on a phone call. You can do this on a Zoom call. You can do this on a FaceTime. Okay. You can do this any different. You can do this in person. However, you set the frame. And once you've given them the options of like, you can tell me no, or you can tell me yes, that puts them in a frame of being able to make a decision, understanding that they're going to be presented with the options to make a decision. Okay, so you tell them that, that's setting the frame. Then you tell them the time that it's going to take. Usually these calls go about 15, 20 minutes. And if it looks like we could be a fit to work together, maybe an extra 10. So 30 minutes altogether. Is that good with you? Yeah, that's good with me. Perfect, man. Well, I really appreciate your time jumping on this call with me today. This time that we're spending together right now is time that we could be doing anything else in the world. And so I'm really excited to make this a productive time for us to potentially work together. So tell me a little bit about what made you want to take the time out of your day to jump on a call with me today. You can ask this if they're an inbound lead or if they reached out to you. But for you guys that are starting out, this question might not be as relevant. So alternatively, you're going to ask them, hey, what were you hoping to get out of today's call? And what when I reached out to you, when I called you, when I pitched you, made you say, hey, I want to take the time out of my day to get on with Ian? And they'll tell you, well, you reached out, you said you could do some stuff with marketing. We just had our marketing girl quit, blah, 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 blah. They'll tell you some stuff. So that's all the pre-work, okay? Now we've done the pre-work. Now we're going to get into the actual sauce, okay? And the actual sauce, there's 3 stories that need to be told on any sales call or any discovery call. And the 3 stories is the story of where they're at now and how they got there. So you're going to ask questions in this phase like, how many sales are you currently doing per month? How much are you charging your clients? How much money do you make from each client? What's the average? How long does somebody stay with you? Do you get a lot of referrals? What kind of marketing have you been doing? How long have you been in business? These are all opening discovery questions. Okay, so that's the story of where they're at now and how they got there. How'd you get into all of this? And guys, all sales and human, all communication, it's going to be human to human, person to person. You want to move over there, sweetie? Yeah, so 1 second, guys. So your communication, it's always going to be personal. It's going to be human connection. So it's human to human communication. And with that being said, that means that this call is never going to be scripted. You want it to be very much. Dang, I just had a dealership message us. 30 leads, 4 test drives, but okay, sorry. Let me go back to where I was. So when you're asking the story of where they or where they are at currently and how they got there, you're going to be asking a lot of discovery questions, and really you want it to just be natural. Oh, how'd you guys get into that? Tell me more about that. How does that work? And a lot of this stuff is going to really unfold supernaturally, and you're just going to keep the frame leading up to the point where it needs to go. Okay, so now we know where they're currently at and where they want to go, where they want to, or and how they got there. Okay, the next story number 2 that needs to be told on the call is where they want to go, and why. Okay, Mr. Business Owner, so you told me that you're doing about 50 sales a month right now currently, and obviously you're not happy with that. That's why we're on this call today. But tell me, like, realistically, like, what do you think that you guys should be doing? What's your goals for 2024, and what do you think you could handle? And they'll tell you, well, we should be doing about 70. You know, you have questions like, well, what makes you think you should be doing that much? And with your current team, if we just X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. And then you want to ask, okay, so what's the biggest hurdle? You're 20 right now. You want to go to 70. What do you think is stopping you guys from going there? And they'll tell you, oh, we don't get enough leads. We don't have enough social media. We're not having enough sales, that kind of stuff. And once they tell you that, you know that they're starting to open up to your solutions, okay? Now you want to start hitting them with questions that make them feel an emotional response. And those are going to be questions like I asked this guy this yesterday, and I swear he almost started crying. But I was like, you know, Mr. Business Owner, so tell me, if you continue down the same path you're at right now, you know, your sales have dropped in half the past few months. You've got a lot of team. What does this look like in three to 4 months? He said, well, I think I'm going to have to close down. And you don't really want to work with businesses that are on their way out. But that was an experience where I told the guy, hey, what do you think is going to happen if you don't get this figured out? And they'll tell you what that reality is going to look like. And just like, wow, how long have you been at 50 sales a month? 7 months. Still going to for 8 years. I just don't know if it keeps breaking up.
Hey Nate,
Hello?
you're breaking up a little bit. I'm
Let
not
me
sure.
connect to this Wi-Fi. Okay, 1 second. Let me connect to the Wi-Fi here. Should be better. Hey, is it better now, guys?
It's sounding better, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I just had to connect to the Wi-Fi. Let me know if that's better for you guys. Is that better? Cool. Cool, guys. Perfect. So let's recap. We've got a discovery call, a sales call, qualified prospect, and we're unfolding this process. We've set the frame and we've asked discovery questions to uncover where they are currently at in their situation and how they got there. Now, the second story that we're uncovering is where they want to go and why. Once you ask them their goals and you figure out how long they've been trying to achieve them and you ask them about the roadblocks, now you're going to ask some hard-hitting questions. So tell me, Mr. Business Owner, what does getting to 50 car sales a month allow you to do, or what does getting to 70 car sales a month allow you to do that you're currently unable to do at 50 sales a month? A lot of people will be extremely perplexed here. They'll be like, it's just more sales. And these are red flag answers. If somebody says, oh, it's just more because more is better, they'll probably sign up with you, but they won't stay long term. And that's why you want to ask these hard hitting questions and dig a little deeper. A lot of people will just say, oh, it's more money, it's more better. Well, I mean, yeah, more money is great. I love putting more money in my bank account, but it's, you know, it's not for the money, it's for what it allows us to do. So what are you going to be allowed, you know, able to do in your business that you're not able to do right now? And this is where you'll hear about expansion plans of opening another location, scaling a team, sometimes retiring. And now you're getting to an upper echelon of your sales conversation where you're starting to now talk about vision. And vision is number one above all. Okay. And you want to cast a vision of what it's going to look like to work with you. And I'm going to show you how you do that. So we've got them unpacked here. They're telling us, okay, so I want to get to 70 car sales a month because I've got another car dealership that I want to open up, and blah 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 blah, and we want to hire Susie, and I want to retire, and da 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 da. So you get the business question, and now you want to ask that hard-hitting personal question. Okay, man. So let's say you're at 70 sales a month. You open the other location, and then what? And they'll say like, well, some people will keep trying to close themselves off here. I've noticed, and you just have to keep opening them up. They're like, well, what do you mean? So like, how is your life going to be impacted by this? Yeah, everybody wants more because more is better than less. But like, what is this actually going to do for your life? How is this going to change your life? And the reason I ask that, Mr. Business Owner, is because, I like to work with people that I know where the ship is actually heading. If I know the destination point of where you want to get, it's easier for me to reverse engineer and create a roadmap that's going to get you there. So tell me, like, how is this going to impact your personal life? And guys, check this out. This is important. Never ask it like this. Never say, how is this going to impact your personal life? Are you going to be able to spend more time with your kids? Are you going to be able to travel more? Never, ever, 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 ever do that, because they will literally latch on to the first thing you say and they'll, yeah, more time with my kids. But you won't find out what's true to them. You need them to express to you what is true to them, what their actual goal is with their business, like the real goal. Is it financial freedom? What does financial freedom allow them to do? Once you get somebody to admit to you that they want to spend more time with their kids, and maybe at this point you're like, oh, you got kids? How old are they? Oh, I got a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. Nice. What are their names? Tony and Tommy. Tony and Tommy. That's cool, man. Two boys. That must be a handful. Well, look, man, I think you've done incredible. You got a business that's doing 50 sales a month. But I'm a little concerned. You guys have tried a lot of different advertising, tried a lot of different marketing, and you're still not at 70 units a month. You told me your biggest challenge was X leads, staff, whatever it is. You told me your biggest challenge was X, and that you've been trying to get to 70 car sales a month for the last 8 years. If you continue down this path that you're continuing down, it doesn't, like you admitted yourself, it kind of looks like your business has been stagnant and maybe it'll get wiped out altogether. And that's the last thing that I'd want to see happen for you. So I'm really, really confident that I can help you out. And I'd love to show you what that looks like. Okay. And this is where story 3 comes in. Okay. Now you've unpacked everything. You know their goals, you know their process. And one other thing that you can ask them during story 2, where they want to go and why. You can also ask them questions like, so you've got them all unpacked here. I just had another question that I like to ask in this, but it escaped me. Oh, yeah. So you can also ask them like, okay, man, so what's your plan? What's your plan to get from 50 to 70? And they'll tell you like, oh, I want to hire a company like yours to handle my advertising. Or they'll tell you like, I don't know, we need more leads, or I want to hire somebody, or maybe they'll have this abstract plan, or maybe they won't have a plan. And all of this is just to basically shine a mirror. You're just holding up a mirror to this business owner and just seeing how they react. And just by listening to them, and take your time with this. This should take a while. This should take like an hour. And take your time and ask them, like when they say something that maybe you don't fully understand, tell me a little bit about that. Or, as you're in your discovery, so what advertising have you guys done before? Have you worked with any companies? What exactly did you guys do? Do you have any pictures of that? Really identify and dig into every single piece. And this will be educational for you. And also it'll be impactful for them, because business owners want to talk about this stuff. Our businesses is our baby. And there's not a lot of people that you can actually open up about your business to, because most people don't care and they don't understand. And so as a CEO, especially the more successful you get, you're providing for everybody. You've got your payroll, you've got your own personal bills, you've got your relationships or your kids or your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever it is. You've got all these things, and then your own hobbies. And like, you're paying for everything as the business owner. You're taking all the risk, and things are super hard. And so you guys will be very surprised at the caliber of business owners that will open up to you, and they'll express to you things that you never would have imagined somebody expressing to you, because you look at yourself, or at least I did when I first started. I looked at myself as I was down here, and a real business owner was way up here. Once you ask these impactful questions, and it'll be music to your ears the day you do. You ask these impactful questions, they'll see you as eye to eye, okay? And they might even see you as here, just because you're listening to them. They won't hear me. Is this resonating with you guys? Is this helpful? Just drop it in the chat if this if this is helpful for you guys to see this process of how I lead a discovery call. Perfect. Perfect. Thanks, Loretta. You're always holding it down. Roni, appreciate that. Okay, guys, I'm glad. So now let's go into the actual presentation, right? So after you've unpacked all this stuff, okay, so after you've unpacked all this stuff, let me hang up on this guy. There we go. All right, cool. So after you've unpacked all this stuff, now they're eager to hear a solution. Now they're eager to hear from you. A lot of times they're thinking like, man, I just said all this stuff to this guy. Like he listened to me. And if you guys know anything about like how to win friends and influence people, the famous book by Dale Carnegie, I think. Or no, yeah, I think it's Dale Carnegie. He talks about that. People love the sweet sound of their own name. People love to be heard. They love to be listened to. When you get to go down these pathways and figure out somebody's whole story, and you're telling them like, and another thing too, you want to make people feel like you really like them, and you should like them. If you don't like them, you should get off the call. Like literally, I'm telling you guys, if you don't vibe with somebody on a cultural level, don't try to work with them. If you don't like them, say, hey, you know what? I think this is going to be a good fit. Mutually, I just don't think that we're aligned. And I wish you the best, but I think we should just end this call right now. I appreciate your time. And I want to be protective of your time, also mine. So let's just end this call right now. And that's what you would say to somebody that you just feel like I have a no asshole policy in my business. I'm not going to take in assholes. I work with car dealers. There's plenty of assholes in car dealerships. But what I do is I just don't take them on as clients, and then my team doesn't have to deal with them. So it's okay to disqualify somebody. But if you like them and you feel like they're aligned and you're like, this person is awesome, I want to work for them, tell them that. Man, I really like you. Like, I really like what you've shared with me today. I like this journey that you've had, and I learned so much from this. Like, you're really living the American dream, 50 sales a month. And really, I think, based on what you told me, there's so much opportunity for growth. And, you're making about $3,000 per customer. I mean, that's extremely scalable. So, man, with all that being said, I really appreciate your time today. And I know that I can help you. Okay, so this is where you want to be uber confident. Don't say, I think I can help you. Don't say, maybe this could work. Don't even dare do that. You will mess up this entire process. Say, man, I am so confident that I can help you. I know that this stuff works. Digital advertising is the number one thing that's helping dealerships scale. Okay, and it's not, but not all digital advertising is created equally. As you know, everybody's on social media, but it doesn't mean that every marketing company knows how to get on social media the right way. Me and my team have tapped into a proven process, and I'd be happy to share that with you now. I know I can help you. I know you guys will crush with this. Do you have about 10 more minutes that I could share this with you? You say, yeah, of course. You say, okay, cool. And then what I do then is I'll share my screen and I'll go into my my presentation, my pitch deck. And I've noticed that it's better. You close a lot more deals if you're actually on a call with them, and you can actually show them some things. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can share my screen on the mobile version of this. No, I can't. So I won't be able to show you guys my presentation too well. Let me see. Let me actually. What I'm gonna do for you guys, I'm gonna drop it in the Slack channel, or I mean in the chat. I'm gonna drop my presentation. Okay, and you guys can take a look at it and follow along as I go through there. Does that sound good? So I'll show you guys exactly how I close this deal. Okay, here, I'm sending this over here. Okay, and if you guys want to make a copy of this for yourself, just go to File, make a copy, and you should be able to make a copy of that. So let me know once you guys are over there on the document if you can pull it up, and we'll go over this together. I'll pitch you guys. Pull it up on split screen or however you want to do it. Okay, and so now we're going to get into the third story that's told. The third story that's told on any discovery or sales call is the story of how you're going to help them get there. Okay, so now the three stories are where they're at and how they got there, where they want to go and why. And the third story is the story of how you're going to help them get there. Okay, inside of each one of these stories, you got to know the questions to ask. They're pretty basic discovery questions. It's mostly the W's, 4 W's. Where are you at? Where do you want to go? What is stopping you? When do you want to be there? Those are the main discovery questions. And those break into a lot of subsets of other questions. And guys, trust yourself. Seriously, trust yourself. You're going to know how to do this conversation a lot more than you expect. Like just from listening to this stuff and learning about what you've been doing and investing your time, you're going to know how to navigate this conversation a lot better than you expect when you first start. And you're going to get feedback that you wouldn't expect it. And the first time you hear somebody say, that's a good question, you're going to be like, oh shit, I'm on point. Like, this is cool. So now, have you guys got the slide deck pulled up? Can I go into that? Just let me know in the chat if you guys have eyes on that, if that pulled up right. And then I'll share a little bit with that. Just let me know in the chat if you guys have that, if that's able to be pulled up. No, I apologize, guys. I'm back home with family this week, so I'm like at a random coffee shop and stuff. So not the highest quality of the mechanism, but I hope the delivery is still on point. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open this up and go ahead and just do the present mode on the slide deck. And I'm gonna check in with you guys one more time and make sure that as I'm looking at my presentation that you guys are still able to hear me. Can you guys hear me still and everything when I go over there? All right, cool. Okay, so now let's go into the presentation. All right, so we've opened them up, we've learned about their business, and now we tell them, look, I'm super confident that I can help you get these results. There's two other questions that you want to ask them right before you share your screen. And those two questions are, what does the decision-making process look like down there? Is it, if you're on with the owner, you just ask the owner, do you have any partners or anybody that you have to kick this back with? And they'll tell you like, no, I'm the decision maker or whatever. And if they tell you like, oh yeah, I got to take it to my boss and this and that, you just say, perfect. Well, what I'd love to do is that I'd love to schedule a call with you and your boss so that we can all use our time the most efficiently. And I don't show you this program and then we have to re-show it to him, or maybe we have to play telephone and get his approval. Can we get him on a Zoom call right now? Would he be able to jump in with us? This is super important, or, you can go along that. Or if they say, yes, I'm the decision maker, then you can check it out. If they say, no, I'm just the general manager or something, then you say, Perfect, no worries. Well, how does the decision-making process look like down there? Is this something that the owner told you to look for, and that's why you're reaching out, or is this something that you just saw and you guys know you need, so you wanted to check out? Okay, check that out, guys. I'm leading two answers. That most of the time you don't want to do leading answers, but sometimes you do strategically. And this is one of those times where strategically, I would say, is this something the owner told you to look into because it's needed, or is this something that you just went about to find yourself because you know that you need it? Either one of these answers is great. If they say, oh, yeah, I just knew that we needed it, so I checked it out myself. If they say that, then you know you've kind of got them because they know that they need what you have. If they say, yeah, the owner put me in this call and told me to check it out, then you're like, oh, awesome, man. Well, I'm really confident that we can help you. What does the decision-making process look like? Or if you like it, you're take it to the owner and get his approval, or do you have final say on that? What does that look like? You just want to make sure that you pitch the pitch to all the decision makers. If not, a lot of times you have to go through these multiple processes, and it can be a little bit of back and forth, jump around, and kind of be a dance. So I prefer to get all the decision makers on a call, and then I share my screen and I go over the pitch. Okay, so we're going to do that now. All right, so let's assume that we got the decision maker on the call, and I say to him, I'm like, yo, so how does the decision making process go? He says, I make all the decisions. I say, perfect. One last thing before I show you how I can help you. Assuming that I can help you get to 70 car sales a month, how soon are you wanting to get these results set up into your dealership? How soon are you wanting to get these results set up into your business? This question right here will tell you a lot about how serious they are on moving forward. A lot of times people will say, if it works, yesterday or as soon as possible. Or they'll say, probably like mid-January. If they tell me some BS like mid-January, I get annoyed. I'm sorry, but I just like, if you're on the call with me, let's do something together. And I'll show you how I present that at the end. It's kind of aggressive, but not pushy. It's just like firm. And that's kind of how you got to be. So if they tell me like, oh yeah, we're looking to get something like this up in January. Oh man, I don't even know if we're going to be offering the same thing in January. So why don't we just reconnect then? I was under the assumption that when you jumped on this call with me, you were looking to move something forward. But if you're just looking for information, I'll shoot you over an email with some videos you can check out, and then just hit me back up in mid-January. Because I know they're just like wasting my time. They'll literally, those people, usually when they say mid-January, I never hear back from them. And so they'll ask you to pitch them all the way. They'll ask you a bunch of questions. They'll even ask you to negotiate pricing, but they won't sign up. So you want to find somebody that's like, I want to sign up as soon as possible. I want to sign up yesterday. I want these results tomorrow. Those are good signs. Or like next week. If they say like next week, then you're like, perfect. We can get you started this week. It's going to take about a week to set everything up, and you can go from there. Okay? So assuming they say, yes, I want this yesterday, if it can get me the results and if the cost makes sense. You say, perfect. Well, let me show you how I can help you. And then I open up my presentation. And I'm going to go through this very quickly for you guys and very briefly so you can see what I do. And I'm just going to talk through this. So basically I say, hey, so go ahead and open it up, guys. We're on the first slide, slide 1, car sales boosting scale method. So, hey, man, this is the proven formula I actually stumbled upon when I was cleaning cars. And it's helped my dealerships to create consistent and predictable increases in sales volume. Actually, I was cleaning cars, I was studying social media, and I figured I had to turn $100 into 3 cars sold. And that was kind of the birthplace of using this system. Let me show you about some dealerships that started out just like you. And I go to the second slide. This guy, Dana, he sold 12 cars in the first 5 weeks of starting with us for $1,800 in ad spend, and he made $42,600. And you can see here in the screenshot, $1,800, that's for 5 weeks. And you can also see a timeline view, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5 of his results. In summary, week 1, he's flooded with leads. Week 2, traffic to his website, credit apps, everything's better. Week 3, he leaves us a Google review. He's so impressed. Week 4, he sells 2 cars. He said he would have hugged me. Personal touch is actually my love language, so I really was happy for that. And then week 5, he sells 5 cars. He was doing about 6 car sales a month, and we took him to 6 car sales a week with 80% of his sales coming from Facebook ads. Then I go to the next slide, and I say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, you strike me as kind of a numbers guy. These are the numbers that he got. 324 leads, 165. I run through the whole thing. And then I say, he got a cost per car sold of 153. Now, a lot of businesses, a lot of dealerships would look at 324 leads and only 12 sold. And they'd say, hey, man, that's a lot of leads that didn't get sold. And the truth is, yeah, he could increase his conversion rates. But when you're making $35, $45, $5,000 per car, you only need 12 sales to make $45,000, $50,000. And if we're doing a cost per car sold of $153, you told me that your average profit per customer is about $3,000. So that's trading $153 for $3,000. Is that something that you'd want to do? They'd be like, of course, if it works. And then I have this little video here on the slide that I'll play, and it just has my client Dana saying, hey, the difference between what you guys do and what other people do, it's amazing, blah, 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 blah. And then I go to my next slide, and I say, but we don't just manage small budgets too. This is a dealership that invested over $84,000 into our program, and they sold 300 plus cars over the course of a year, and they continue to invest that kind of money with us because of the results that we get for them. Then I go to my next slide. I say, check this video out. And in this video, the client says, he basically says like, he says, it's been way better. People show up at the dealership every day and they're like, that's the guy from the video. And they act like they know me. Okay. And this is where I introduce our viral video strategy. And in the viral video strategy, I say, hey, and this is the numbers that we got for them. And I show them the numbers, 3-month case study, kind of break it down just like I did with Dana. I show some screenshots. I say, hey, they did 40 plus sales over 3 months at a cost per car sold of $187. Does that sound good to you? They say yes. And I say, this is how we did it. And I go to the next slide, and I say, these video ads get amazing comments. We run these happy customer ads that create an emotional connection. And then we run these text-based ads as well, and we send everybody to a landing page. So how do we actually get the results? And then I scroll to the how do we determine qualified leads. I say we get 5-star quality leads. That's not just their contact information. It's also going to include a time frame, financial information they want to buy in. This is the type of information we connect. I go to the next slide, and I show them we're getting all this stuff right off Facebook. We're even getting addresses and all that. Then I show them the scale slide. Okay, the slide that says scale. And I say, SKALE is our proven system, and it's an acronym. There's 5 parts. Without going super deep, I'll just briefly explain each one. We create a custom strategy built directly for you, so it works specifically for you. We craft campaigns that cut through the noise, set you guys up with your very own landing page. We run ads on Facebook, Instagram, Google, and TikTok. We automate your follow-up structure for all these leads with marketing automation. That's text, email, and ringless voicemail. Plus, we have a 1-year plus drip campaigns, and we'll follow up with your old unsold customers. Then we level up your software, giving you a mobile dashboard to track your sales and attribution, plus unlimited access and training and support. And then we do end-to-end optimization, making sure that the system that started out working for you continues to work and drive results. That's where we're going to be checking in with you. We don't set it and forget it. We want to be able to increase your volume and budget so that we can scale 10x. What we do is we make the graphics. Let's go to the next page. I say we're not a fly-by-night marketing agency. I have a full team. We make the graphics. We make the videos. We write the ads. We set everything up and optimize it consistently, and you give us the green light. And then by that point, I just usually ask them, and I'm like, all right, man, so price aside, is this something that you want? Is this something that you think can get you closer to 70 sales a month? Is this what you were hoping for? You want to check in with them a lot. I'm going fast through this, guys, but you want to check in with them a lot. Like, is this what you were expecting? Is this what you were hoping for? Does this look good for you? You want to check in with them a lot. Oh yeah, this is exactly what we're looking for. Perfect, man. So, there's a couple more things I could show you here. A lot of times I show them the proven follow-up system. These are the texts we sent out. I include it with a story of how that guy bought a car. We followed up with them. Lead tracking, I show them that. And then I go to the scale overview and examples, and I just say, so this is the basic system, guys. We run a variety of social media ads. We send them to a landing page, and then we redirect them to a calendar. The calendar, in just 1 month for Dana, you can see before he had the online booking system and after, a lot of your appointments, your prospects will book themselves on a test drive. So you want to make sure that they can do that. And we make it super easy to say yes. We offer a 2x dollar for dollar return on investment within 30 days. We work for free, even if I have to fly out there and help sell the cars myself. And I'm confident that I can do that because, and then I go into these other case studies. I say, this is my first client that I ever closed. They're still working with me to this day. They sell 15 to 20 cars a month. This client I've had, and then I go to the next one. This client I've had for over a year, and they sell 15 to 20 car sales per month and make a $50,000 in gross profit return. They went from $30 leads to $3 leads with a 49% response rate. This dealership, we've been working with them for 2 years, and we get them automatic appointments day in and day out. They just actually had a $100,000 month in December. This month, they just had a $100,000 month from our system. And if we had time, and then I'll scroll to this last one with all the screenshots, I could show you hundreds, and I go to the other one, and hundreds of stories exactly like this. Dealerships that we've helped scale and get more sales through social media. And so let me show you what this all looks like. Do you have any questions for me? And they'll say, yeah, I got a question on this. How do you do this? How do you do that? And then I'll tell them. And then from there, we go into the pitch. And a lot of times they'll say, yeah, my only question is like, how much does it cost? What's the damage? And I'll say, cool. So and I break it all down. For the guaranteed increase in sales volume, the paid ad strategy, everything we talked about on counter, I'll break it all down. It's going to be guaranteed results for you, no risk, and the average ROI is $70,000 to $150,000. It's going to be $3,000 a month, plus $65 to $100 a day in ad spend. It's going to shake out to roughly $5K per month, and we guarantee $10K worth of revenue. Is that something that you guys are ready to move forward on? And a lot of times, maybe they'll kick back some pride. They'll be like, oh man, $5K a month, that's a lot of money. And I said, well, Mr. Business Owner, you told me that for every car you sell, you make $3,000. So if I sell you 2 cars, we make your money back plus 1,000. If I sell you 4 cars, you double your money. If I can't sell 4 cars in 1 month, I'll just dissolve my LLC. I shouldn't be in this business. I sold cars for years. I know how to sell cars. I know it takes, I know what it takes to sell 4 cars. It doesn't take much. Okay, so I'll guarantee you that, so you have that security. But my goal isn't just to get you a 2X. My goal is to get you a 5X, a 10X, a 15X, or even a 25X, like we saw that Dana did and so many of my other dealerships. Okay, I know this is going to work for you. I know this is a good fit. It's a 3-month minimum commitment. You're going to put $15,000 into ads, okay, and to make back $30,000, that's 10 car sales. Do you think my system can help you get 10 extra car sales in the next 90 days? You say, well, I don't know. If they're still on the fence, like, I don't know. Then you start kind of asking, throwing some stuff back at them. It's like, well, what makes you feel like uncertain about this? Oh, well, we've had some agencies that said they could do everything and they didn't do it. Well, did they have a guarantee in writing? No, they didn't. Perfect. I got that. Did they have car sales experience? No, they didn't. Perfect. We got that. And anytime they give you a problem that another agency had, I just tell them, like, I don't jump on it right away. I just say, oh, you're going to love how we handled that. A lot of us agencies have the same issues. The best ones, they solve the problems and keep going. And then I close them down. So like yesterday, I closed this guy down and he started asking me questions. He's like, hey, I got another dealership on the side. Can I throw that in as well? 2 dealerships. I said, yeah, man. For the 2 dealerships. He's like, but my other store, it only sells 10 cars a month. And I said, I'll tell you what, man. I'll do both locations for $4,000 setup and then $3,000 a month if you commit to 6 months. And he said, I can do that. And he paid me $4,000 yesterday with this exact same system that I'm showing you guys. And I signed him for 6 months. That's a $22,000 contract. And it was a guy that came in for my ads. He jumped on the call with me. I was actually late to the call. Imagine that. And he said, hey, and he still signed up. I'm not proud of being late, by the way, but yeah. So it just goes to show when you set that value, when you set that frame, you'll get complete strangers charging their card for $4,000. Sounds crazy, but it happens to me, and I'm super surprised. If I can do it, any of you guys can do it. Seriously. It's mostly the biggest shift that came in my sales this year that allowed me from going to selling 1 to 2 deals a month to selling 7 to 10. The biggest shift was confidence. I know this is going to work. And if you guys don't have that confidence, you have to anchor yourself with confidence through other case studies. I just saw that Facebook made a new page to promote their lead generation ads. And in that, they have like 4 or 5 case studies of different businesses that use lead generation ads to grow their sales and their revenue. And so you guys can leverage that exact case study that Facebook is putting out. And you could tell it just how I just said, hey, Facebook just put out these lead generation studies. Check this out. This roofing company was able to do this with these ads. Show them case studies of other people in relative industries or case studies of from that platform, and that will help you build confidence. Okay. And if people are like, hey, I don't know if this is going to work for me, like this is a little bit harsh, but I tell them, I'm like, look, man, whether you want to believe that this is going to work for you or not, that's up to you. Just like whether you want to think that the sky is purple or green or black, that's up to you. It doesn't change the fact that it's blue. I've done this 100 times. I've seen it work in dealerships just like yours. I'm confident in your setup because of this reason and that reason, and I want to do this with you. I told you at the beginning of this call how much I value your time, and I value mine as well. And so me and you have already invested all this time today in this call. This is what I say when they start to say, oh, I got to think about it. I say, man, look, we're both on this call today right now. This hour that we spent together, this is an hour that we could have spent working on our business directly. This is an hour that we could have spent with family. This is an hour that we could have been chilling, having some downtime. But instead, we're spending it here. So what I propose to you, let's make this hour count. Let's not waste any time, because the last thing I want to happen is you get busy, I get busy, we miss each other, and 3 months down the road, you're in the same position, and we get back on this call and do this whole process again. Let's save ourselves the time. I'm going to ask you to make a decision. Do you want this program, yes or no? Yes, I want the program, but it's just the money. Okay, perfect. The money's the easy part. What I'm going to propose to you is we get started today. We do a totally refundable $500 deposit so you can go think about it. You can go talk to your wife. I'll get my team on this right now. I'm literally ready to get my team on this right now. I'll call my guy. I'll have him reach out to you. We'll start doing the onboarding process. And if you wake up tomorrow after talking to your wife and you absolutely hate it, I'll refund you the deposit. But I want you to put $500 down right now. Send me your card details. We're going to run the card. We're going to set up your kickoff call, and we're going to make this happen. When you told me it was important for you to make an extra 20 sales a month, I made that important to me. I told you that if I thought I could help you, I would show you what that looks like on today's call. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. Now I'm asking you to make a decision. It's okay. You could say no. Do you hate this? You could totally tell me no. And they'll say like, no, I really like the program. It's just the money. Look, is $3,000 a lot of money for you? Well, yeah, $3,000 is a lot of money for me. Perfect, man. Oftentimes I see that the clients that don't think $3,000 is a lot of money, they just pay us the money every month and they don't really commit to the program as much. But the fact that you know that $3,000 is a lot of money for you just shows me how committed to this you're going to be. How can we expect customers to want to buy from us $30,000 cars when we're not even willing to invest into a $3,000 program? You know, this is one car sale and you're going to make your money back, right? And so I break all that down. I want to do this with you. I know you're going to be great. Let's jump into it, brother. Enough dragging our feet. Let's make this time count. I want to do this with you. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to get your kids, Tony, Tom, you're going to be spending more time with them. We're going to get you up to 50 a month. I have a program. I've done this before for XYZ dealership, and I'll do it for you too. This is our contract. I just sent it over to you. Scroll all the way down, choose the 3,000, sign the information, send your card through. I'll wait for you to do that right now, and then I'll walk you through how onboarding works. If you can take the payment on the call, that's great. If not, just send them a proposal. And a lot of times if they commit, they'll send the money in a little bit later. Okay, guys, so that is how I close deals. That's my exact process. Those are some of the ways I handle objections. I hope that's helpful for you. Let me get to these questions in the chat, and then we'll close out here today. I really appreciate your guys' time. What do I say to my appointment setter when it is a lawyer and I want to help them get clients? What do I say to my appointment setter when it is a lawyer? Okay, so what does your appointment setter need to say to the lawyer that wants to get clients, basically? Yeah, for an appointment setter, is it cold traffic or warm traffic? Like, is it cold leads? Cold, yeah, okay. If it's cold, you got to get in there real nice and smooth. So if it's cold, you got to basically call. Like if I was to call, like you've seen Dylan do some cold call stuff. He's better at it than me, but it's the same process really. But you have to basically set them into having that other conversation with you that we just broke down in this call. And so if it's an appointment setting call, it's like you want to just be like, you want to step into their life like somebody that they've known their whole life. Like I had one guy tell me one time, I hit him up on a call and he's like, I feel like we've known each other in a past life or something because of the way I hit him. So jump on the call and have your appointment setter be like, when the guy takes the call, Loretta Lanting, the woman herself, how are you doing today, boss? I'm doing good. How are you, man? You've already made them kind of like, they're like, what? You're like, perfect. Well, I've got some excellent news for you. Do you have 2 minutes? You have 2 minutes. 120 seconds. Yeah, we're kind of busy here, but just go ahead and shoot. Well, cool, man. I just recently moved to the area, and I figured out a way to help lawyers get new cases, and we've got some overflow cases that we're working right now, and I don't have any local lawyers to send it to. I've been working with lawyers for the last 5 years, or here's my credentials, blah, 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 and I'd love to see if we could become a referral partner for you, and if we could help you grow your practice. Is that something that would be beneficial to you guys? Would that offer you any value? Yeah, we're always looking at different things. So, I mean, what do you guys do exactly? Well, we do a lot of things. Every lawyer that we work with gets their own custom plan and package. And so what I really like to do for you is to figure out exactly what kind of cases you guys work with and what kind of criteria you're looking for in your cases and your marketing so that I can help you with that. Is this something that you could carve 15, 20 minutes out to speak with my boss, Loretta? She's awesome. She's been doing law for a really long time. And we just are trying to get into this area. And I think we can help you a lot. Is that something you want to do? Be like, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you over some resources to tell you a little bit more about us. And we're going to set up the call. How's 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Monday or 2 p.m. on Monday sound for you? Let's do 2 p.m. Perfect. I'm going to send you a confirmation. Please have your assistant on there or anybody else. We're really looking to make a partnership that's going to last, and we'll be happy to unpack all the things. And we're going to go ahead and audit what you're currently doing and see how we can make it better. There you go. And really, it's a volume play. Like it's honestly, you have to just do it a lot, and you'll eventually get some people that are more receptive to it. But a lot of people are going to be closed off. That's why I like warm traffic so much. When you can have somebody that saw your ad or reached out to you specifically, it's just way better because then they can actually, then you're coming at a way different frame. You're like, hey, saw you reached out, want to get you that information you requested, and it's just a way better situation. So that's what I'd say for that. And if it's a warm call too, you basically get on, your appointment setter gets on and they're like, hey, saw you reached out. What makes you want to reach out? Okay, cool. So if we could help you get to your goals, is this something you have a few thousand a month that you could deploy into marketing? Granted that it works. And they'll either say yes or no. And if they say no, then it's like, well, our program's kind of spendy. Maybe it's not going to be a good fit for you. And if they say yes, then you're like, perfect. Let me get you on a call with Nate. And that's for warm traffic. Warm traffic, you want to kind of filter them out by telling them up front, have your appointment setters say it's going to be a couple $1,000s a month. Is that something that's doable for you guys? And they'll be like, well, if it works, sure. Then you want to book them. But like my appointment setter didn't do this the other day. And I got on with a guy that expected to pay $187 per car sold because he just didn't know the pricing. And it was just a waste of both of our time. So that's what I'd say for cold and warm traffic. Warm traffic, you want to kind of push them away, make sure they're really qualified. Cold traffic, you just want to get them on a call with you, and it's usually going to be a longer sales cycle. Last question. Thank you. Got to go now. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas and have a good New Year as well. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I appreciate all your guys' time. Go close some deals with this, or at least have some practice conversations. If you know a business owner, ask them if you can have a practice conversation with them. Just ask them, hey, I'm starting my business, and I'd really love to have a conversation with you about your business and just kind of practice what I'm learning and everything like that. When you hit them with this sauce, the three stories, where they are now and how they got there, where they want to go and why, how you can help them get there, and you're asking them all these discovery questions, they're gonna kind of entertain, like, because they're your friend. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, you can ask me anything. Okay, cool. Let's set up a Zoom. And then when you start asking them these things, they're gonna really be like, damn, Roni's been on her stuff. Like she's been figuring it out. Like, what are you doing exactly? So how does it work? How much is it? Here's my card. Like, so that's how it goes, guys. And you can do this anywhere. Like I've had this conversation, I'm not kidding, it sounds kind of weird, in a hotel sauna, like in the little hotel spas. I met a lawyer there and we had this exact conversation. So where are you guys currently at? Oh man, what are you guys doing for advertising? Oh, how does that work? And at the end of it, he's like, dude, I freaking love this kid. He's just asks me questions and listens to me. I don't even know anything about what he does. And then they kind of trust you and they want to know what you do. And then when you actually do exactly what they need, they're like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be, So good stuff today, guys. I hope that was helpful. Just drop in the channel if that was helpful for you, and tell people to check out the replay. Should be a pretty good one. And I hope you guys all have a great New Year. And